Namaste. This is Rumi Bora once again with her journey of love and courage. We have a special guest today. She is Pritha Dubey, and she's helping entrepreneurs and women, for their upliftment and most important skill set that we all should have. Yes, that is the sales and the negotiation skills. So we welcome Pritha to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here and speaking with everyone here. I am very excited to be here, and thank you, Dr. Rumi, for inviting me to this talk. And I hope that through my journey that I intend to share with everyone, I'm able to inspire and bring in some aspiration in every other woman who are listening to this.
Yeah, and we are also very much excited because today we are here to get a success vitamin. So can you just tell us briefly
Or I lost you there. I sorry I couldn't hear the question that you asked me.
hello? Am I audible?
Yeah, you are now. I just lost
I
you for
think
a
there is a
minute.
network issue. Pritha, okay, okay. So I was sharing like we all are excited to vitamin dose, success vitamin dose. So can you just tell me briefly about your success vitamin journey?
Yes, of
Yes,
course.
Pritha.
Yes. Am I audible to you?
Yes,
Is am I
yes,
clearly audible? Awesome. Great. Thank you. So
yes, loud and clear.
the name success vitamin actually it's a name very close to my heart, and the reason why I thought that when I start my journey of entrepreneurship, this is what the name that is going to be, is because I consider myself not a master. I am just a catalyst. I am one of I consider myself as more like a facilitator who can uh, arrange and bring certain elements that bridges a certain gap in your entrepreneurial journey or in your success journey. Now, of course, because I'm not a master, I can't create success stories for you on your behalf. I can't do that because you are the designer of your life. You are the controller and the driver of your life. So I really can't tell you that I will guarantee you success, because that, of course, is your doing, and the credit is also yours. But what I can do is I can bring you those doses of vitamins, the success vitamins that I call. I can bring you those doses of vitamins that you need from time to time. It's very simple to all the it's very similar to all the vitamins that we usually take in our lives to live healthy, to have energy, to continue the hustles that we are doing on a regular basis, to be active. So we do keep taking these vitamins, right? So like that, in order for us to be successful, in order for you to be successful, I bring those doses of vitamins which help in your success journey. So that is how I started Success Vitamin. It is not really a training company. Many people confuse me as just a trainer. It is not a training company per se. Um, I wear three hats. I am, of course, a corporate trainer, and that is more on the corporate side and go and do corporate training. But Success Vitamin as a firm is more interested in your personal growth and in your personal success. And if you are an woman entrepreneur, or if you are a woman in business, if you are a woman in a professional career, then the kind of mentoring that you may need, a kind of coach that you may need, who can help you, guide you, and provide you with those little bit of pieces, that fits into your entire jigsaw puzzle and helps you complete your careers, your growth jigsaw puzzle. That is where I just try to bring myself in for you. So that is who I am.
Okay, so let me introduce Pritha. Pritha is a leading sales, negotiation, and leadership coach whose clientele consists of CISO, senior executives, senior consultant, and women entrepreneurs who wish to have an inspiring career and growing revenues. She has spent over 20 years in the field of banking, financial services, human resource, and learning and development. From managing B2C business to handling large institutional relationships, her hands-on experience in sales, leadership, training, and coaching help her formulate a surefire mantra of success. She is the creator and founder of Success Vitamin, a power-packed coaching and training academy dedicated to provide sales leaders and women entrepreneurs the emotional transformation that ultimately leads to a performance change. She is a skilled facilitator and a coaching partner to many senior leaders in Indian and South African subcontinent. Prita is very much enthusiastic about all sales and leadership development work and believes that self awareness is the key to making a new choice and how you lead your journey. And her approach to coaching is simple yet easy to follow and experienced successful consultancy effectiveness and many accolades, and Prita was an official member of Forbes in 2022-21 with her article being regularly published in Forbes. She earned the Best Sales Coach Award in 20ET Now World Coaching Congress in 101 Best Choices, International Association of Sales Trainer for Indian subcontinent. She is also a faculty of Strategic Sales Management, IIM Indore. So welcome Pritha to the show. So the first question for you, Pritha, is tell us your journey of love and courage.
I
Yes,
think
Pritha.
my journey is full of love and courage. So when you said that, I am here to share my journey of love and courage, I was very excited because that is what, when I reflect, that is what my journey has been. Um, I have been very privileged to have born into a family that believes in love and courage. And right, I'm the eldest child of my parents, and as it happens with every elder child, maybe you're the first child, so there is a lot of you of course get a lot of love. You are the first child. uh, at the same time, my parents uh, my parents always encouraged me to be a lot more courageous. So like at a very young age, my father was very clear that I am required to take risks in life, and he would encourage me a lot. to take risks. So simple examples. He had this, he would always prepare me. So the preparation that I got, the grooming that I got from my childhood had those had put those things in my mind, that the limitations about being a woman is only in one's mind, because my parents never brought me up with any such conditioning which said that, oh, you are a woman and these are the certain ways that you need to behave, or you need to act, or you need to go. Right from my childhood, my father, I don't remember, as far as my consciousness goes, I don't remember my parents ever brought me a doll or a kitchen house or any such kind of toys to play with. I never played with a doll. I never had a single doll in my life. And all they got me every time my father got me were any tool, any game that would enhance my intellectual capacity, that will bring a lot of logic in my mind, something that I had to use a lot of brains and mind. So mostly these brain games, scientific experiments. I remember at the age at I think I was in class 8th or ninth, my father brought me a game which is that
Okay.
it was of electrical circuit. So I'm supposed to use different electrical equipments and create somewhere light, some alarm, something. So it was an electrical circuit that he got me. So right from childhood, there was always this thing that your gender should never be a challenge for you. You are not supposed to be bothered about what gender you are born as, or what is your gender. We are not born with any gender, but they never put any kind of a conditioning that you are a girl and this is what a girl should be. My mother, I don't remember even once using that dialogue that, oh, you are a girl, you should learn kitchen work. She never gave that dialogue to me that you should learn a kitchen work, and she never insisted that I should go into the kitchen, or I should learn how to cook, or I should learn how to um, do all these things. She never insisted. It's not that I never learned, but the insistence that comes, the conditioning that happens in our immediate upbringing, that never happened with me. Also, my father, they were very clear that you have to learn how to drive. So I was at a very young age. I learned how to ride a scooter, how to ride a bike, how to then, of course, immediately I learned how to. I think by 19 or 20, I got my driver's license. In my family, in fact, I am the only one who knows how to drive. No one else knows how to drive. So, and after that. All the decisions that I took, the support that I received for all the decisions. I decided to do an MBA. I had the full support. I decided to get into sales as a career. I had a full support. And even when I eventually decided that I'm going to leave my corporate career and I'm going to start on my own, I don't come from a business background. No one in my family has ever been in business. And when I decided, I can understand the natural fear that my parents would have felt, that she's going to leave a corporate career, she's going to leave a salaried life, and she's going to get into being a self employed. How will she earn? How will she survive? What will happen? There is no one in the family who can guide her on how to run a business. How will she do all that stuff? I understand all those fears, but they just supported. They just said, go ahead, believe in your caliber. If it doesn't work, of course, you have a job to go back to. So I think anyone's journey is never a fulfilling journey if that the support that you need from your near and dear ones, If that support is not there, the journey is not really that fulfilling. The journey is not really ours. It's not an individual who makes that journey. It is along with the individual, there are many more who make that journey. So it is not my journey. It is me, my father, my mother, my family. It is everyone's journey of love and courage.
Okay, may we know about more details about your family? Who are there? We know about your father, and
My
who else are
father,
there in your family?
yeah, so we used to be a family of four. Now of course we are a bigger family because when we were growing up, it was we two sisters and my parents. I'm the elder one, as I said. I have a younger sister. She's 7 years younger than me. So for 7 years I enjoyed being the only child, and I enjoyed all the love and all the attention and all the affection. And then my younger sister came in to kind of share everything from me, and till date she keeps sharing all my stuff, and that is like a ongoing fight with between her and me, that she's always attacking all my stuff and taking all my stuff away. But that is what sibling relationships are. um, my sister has two daughters, and those two daughters are my nieces, are actually uh, very close to me, and I have a very motherly relationship with them. And so right now, if you ask me, that although I when I was growing up I never had dolls, but now I have two dolls to play with, and I do enjoy a lot of my time with them. Am I audible? I can't hear you, Dr. Rumi, if
That
you are
is
saying
a
anything.
wonderful, really, the journey of love.
Yes.
Yeah, I think network is fluctuating. Because of this,
Right.
these things are coming up. So this journey is really inspiring, fulfillment. So our next question is, how do you
I'm losing you a lot.
am I audible?
Yeah, but I'm losing you a lot. Actually, it had rained today in I'm in Gurgaon, and today it had rained very heavily. So I think it is because of the rains and all that, we are
Okay,
facing some internet fluctuations today out here. Um, but I can hear you now. I'm losing you in between,
okay.
and then again I am finding you. So yeah, sorry, you have to repeat the question, Dr. Rumi.
Yeah, Prita, how can women navigate power structures?
Okay, so I think the first piece is to understand our own power. Any kind of navigation is only possible when we are confident that we can navigate through a power structure. What is a power structure? Any kind of, if I think that something is more powerful, and if that thought that something else is more powerful, and that is causing me stress, or that is making me lose my confidence, and that is scaring me, then only it becomes difficult to navigate. But look at it this way: there is a power structure, all right. There is some, there are a lot of powers that we have to probably deal with. Yes, no denying that. Can I be more powerful than them? No, I don't think so. I can become more powerful with them. Maybe that is what practically is not possible. But do I have to be afraid? Do I have to get scared? Do I have to get all submissive? that is a choice, or that is a decision that is mine. I cannot control, or I cannot actually manage things that are beyond me, that is outside of me. But I can manage and control things that are within me. So, all I what I feel and the way I have worked forward is trying and understanding and developing my inner strength and developing my courage, that where I have to speak, if I have to speak, having that courage that I should still speak. So even if I'm trembling, even if my knees are shaking, but if I know that this is a place where I need to give my voice, I should give my voice. And that is the courage that comes in. What I have understood in my experience, and having been in sales, having been in the corporate side of it, now in the self employed space, I've understood one thing: communication. A clear communication is the key, is the solution to all kind of issues. You are having problem with someone, communicate. You are finding someone's behavior unacceptable, communicate. You feel someone is not giving you the due credit that you deserve, communicate. Keeping things within doesn't help. No one is a mind reader. No one will understand what is going through inside of you. It's only you who know that. So understand what you're going through. Ask yourself, do I want to go through this? If the answer is no, then do something about it. But if the answer is yes, I want to feel unhappy, then it's all right. Then you don't, then it is okay. You continue feeling unhappy. Don't make everyone around you unhappy then, because that is what your choice is. Understanding that all of us have a choice is the most important thing. Understanding that and believing that I have a choice, that is the most important thing. When you know you have a choice, you will see that you are automatically doing and feeling and acting on a lot of things that you think you should. So if you want to navigate the power structure,
Yes.
develop yourself from within.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely correct. So, Pritha, when I interact with lot of women and men, what is, and you're also interacting and coaching lot of men, especially the women entrepreneurs too. So, men better in sales or the men
Who is you are you asking me
who
whether
is
women are better in sales or men are better in sales?
in sales? Women, yeah.
All right. Yeah. Whether men or women, who is better in sales? Is that the question?
Yes, yes, Pritha.
All right. Okay. Okay. All right.
Am I audible?
Yes. Yes. You are. You are. You are. You are audible. Yes. I could hear the question. Yes. Uh, no one is better than each other. Sales is a very gender agnostic thing. You need to understand the science of selling. Sales has nothing to do in terms of whether a man is selling to me or a woman is selling to me. It has nothing to do with it. Sales as a process does not care who is doing that process, whether a man is doing that process or a woman is doing that process. Sales per se doesn't care. As a customer, when I am going and buying something, you put yourself in the shoes of a customer and imagine, when you are buying something, the process of buying, like when I am is basically talking about sorry, a process of buying says that I have a need, I want some product or a service to solve that need. I'll go, I'll evaluate what are the options available in the market, and whichever is the best option for me and whichever gives me a value, I'm going to buy that. That is what the process of buying also is. Now, in these entire processes, whether it's the process of sales or it is the process of buying, gender has no role to play. Yet, where
But
does gender?
I have read, sorry, yeah, sorry to
Sorry.
you, but in a survey, I have just found out women's are better in sales. 11% better than the man. So, do you agree with that? And what I have also seen, women are like we are. Sales is there with women, right? I believe, and what my experience is. So, as a mother, I know how to convince my child for anything I want him to do. I know how to convince my husband to do what I want him to do. So everything is there within us.
Yes,
Women.
sir.
So
Yes,
I
sir.
think women are better sales person, and but they're not realizing this. And as a
It is
women
true.
entrepreneur, if we do not know how to sell, then it's like if you're giving your baby to someone else and do not take care of her baby, right? Because if I'm interacting with a lot of women entrepreneurs, and they say no, sales is not my cup of tea. I don't know how to sell, so I can take care everything. I can create, I can make everything. I can take the product, but I cannot sell. So, what is your advice
All
for
right.
them? So, do we need any
Yes, so that
man
is
to sell our product or service, or any kind of new
no.
venture we have, or we can do that by ourselves? Yes, Prida.
Everyone, that is the reason why I said sales is a science and it is not dependent on the gender. The challenges, however, that we see are not sales related challenges. It is the perception related, the perceptions related to sales. That is the challenge. Sales per se
Your
is,
voice is
again,
not
I'll
coming.
repeat. Sorry, am I not audible?
Yeah, now you're audible. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, now
I'll
you're
just take
audible.
a, I'll probably just change my Wi Fi. 1 minute. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, all right. So I'll just repeat the what I was just saying before I changed my Wi-Fi. Sales per se, let us understand something very clearly. Sales as a process is not dependent on any gender. Who is selling doesn't matter. Sales follows a certain elements. The the aspect with the fact that women are better in selling comes from certain natural abilities that women have, and that and a very strong thing that usually women have because of being a mother, and that is empathy. Now sales requires a lot of empathy, so that element, of course, women have an advantage. They naturally bring empathy into the process. At the same time, the perception about sales is that it is a very aggressive field. You have to be aggressive. You have to go and chase clients, and you have to do this, and it's a lot of hard work, and you have to be, very demanding. You have to be very pushy. And again, because of this gender conditioning, because of the gender stereotyping, by default, people have, the society and all of us have kind of stereotyped men to be like that, men to be more aggressive, men to be more pushy, men to be more demanding, men can do all that stuff. And therefore people feel that okay, men are more suitable to do sales because they are more aggressive. But sales per se doesn't call for any aggression. Sales doesn't say you have to be aggressive. Sales says you have to be empathetic. Sales says you have to understand the need of the customer and just give them. If you have those solutions that the customer is looking for, give it to them. Now, in the process, you have to listen to the customer. So you have to have an empathetic listening skill. Usually, naturally, women have that
Yes,
empathetic
exactly.
listening skill, and that is what gives them an advantage. So, yes, if you ask me, women definitely, when they if they decide that yes, I want to be in sales, naturally they have a lot of tendency to do well in sales. But the challenge is because of this misperception that people have and women have, especially, that sales is about pushing your product. No, that's a wrong perception. Sales is not about pushing your product. Sales is only about serving your client. That is all sales is. You understand what is it that they need and you give it to them. That's all sales is. And it is no rocket science. It is not that hard. All it requires is having a heart to heart conversation. That's all. And I think all of us as women are good at having a heart to heart conversation. So
Oh, thank you
when as
so
a
much,
woman,
simplifying the thing in this way.
yeah. So as a woman
Yeah, you're,
entrepreneur, if you
simplifying
hear
all
yourself,
these things. I really liked it.
thank you. Thank you, because
I
that is
really
what
liked
sales
it,
is.
Pritha.
And it kind
Yeah.
of pains me, having been in sales for such a long time, and something that I love so dearly, the entire process, the entire concept, I love so much. Yes, it pains me when people have such a wrong perception about what selling is. I am a woman. I have always been in the career of sales, and I have had moderate successes also in sales. I have been an entrepreneur since 9, 10 years now. Again, I have had moderate successes here also. I am constantly selling my services, my products, and I am also in a world of competition. There are others who are like me, who are giving the same services that I am giving, and I am still being able to make a mark for myself, have a brand for myself, and have a space. I have created a space for myself where I am I am considering myself, in my own definitions, I consider myself decently successful. So how am I doing it? If And you have to ask yourself this question: if one woman can do it, every woman can do it. So it is a wrong thing that you know it is not even about one woman. If there is one Even if one human can attempt and do something, all other human can attempt and do that thing. So it's all in the mind. um, just let go of that thought that I can't do it. There is nothing in this world that a human can't do it. Human are creating artificial intelligence now.
Sales for
They're
all
creating such
the
amazing stuff.
entrepreneurs can platform for, so they can sell their product, they can sell their services, and they can create platform of sales force so that they can help other entrepreneurs as well. So there is nothing to afraid of, right?
Yeah.
So one more thing, one more gap area is also there. Women negotiate effectively because our conditioning is like that, so we used to say yes to everyone, home yes, everywhere yes, because we want to be very good traditionally and all, so we do not say no. And there is a gap in effective negotiation skill. So what is your advice on that?
Yes, again, this gap in negotiation is not only with women, it is with all people who are selling. uh, the reason, again, you have to understand why is it difficult for me to say no. It is because in whenever we are into any kind of a business, in our we attempt a business deal, we attempt a business communication with a very self-serving attitude. The meaning of self-serving attitude is that if I am trying to do a business deal with you, Dr. Rumi, the when I am negotiating with you, the thought in my mind is, how can I benefit? What can I get from you? And I always enter a negotiation to only get for me, for for my value, for what I can get from you. So because of that, what happens? I get desperate because I want this deal to close for me, not for you. I want this deal to close for me. I want the business. I want that money coming. I want you to cut that check and give it to me. That check is very important for me and my business. And because I attempt the entire process of negotiation with a very self-serving attitude, I feel desperate. And when I get desperate, of course, I won't be able to say no to you because I want you to cut that check for me. But on the other hand, if I am here only with the customer serving attitude, that I want to just serve the customer in the best possible way, then what will happen is, if I can give, I will give. And if I cannot give, and I know that uh, by saying yes to the customer, I am basically not serving the customer that well, I will say no to the customer because all I have in my mind is the customer's best interest. So if by mind saying no, I know that the customer will be more beneficial, I'll not even hesitate for a second to say no, because I will say no, you know what? Um, this may not be the right thing for you, and therefore I'm not going to give you this. And the no is happens when I am feeling that, okay, the client is saying, you give me this also, you give me that also, you add these freebies also, you add those many discounts also, and you give me this fee, you give me basically all the stars and the moons for the price of a pebble. And the negotiator finds it difficult to say no. Why? Because that price of the pebble, that pebble price is also what they are willing to take. First you have to decide, are you willing to accept that price of the pebble? If you are saying no, in your mind, in your heart, you feel that no, I don't want that price of the pebble. For a price of the pebble, I will only give pebble. If you need moon, then you have to pay me the price of the moon. Then you will say no. But if you are yourself desperate, Arey, I don't have business, this is the only client. Now, for this only client, if they are asking me moons and stars, but even if that is one check also, if I am getting, let me get that check. If you are desperate, then yeah, then that is a challenge that you have to face. And now the question is that, how do I not feel desperate? You won't feel desperate if you plan your business properly, if you plan the entire business model properly. The reason why we feel desperate is because we love an idea, we love the thought of our business, and we personally feel that this is a very it's going to add a lot of value. My business is very nice, my product is very nice, and so I jump into being an entrepreneur, being a self-employed without even creating a business plan. Now, because you have not created a business plan, you do not know who is your ideal customer segment. You do not know what is your right pricing strategy. You do not know what are the ways you are adding value, And because in your mind you don't have any of those clarities, so you're struggling. You are not able to say no. It has nothing to do with being a gender. It has nothing to do with you being a woman. That much assurance I can give you. It has nothing to do with you being a woman. So if you thinking that I am a woman, so I can't say no, get out of that thought, that zone. That's not the case. You are not able to say no because you still don't have a complete grip on your business model.
And knowledge base is also there, I suppose. So people do not have proper understanding about sales.
Yeah,
So that
yeah,
is from my side.
yeah, yeah. The process needs some
So
understanding. It needs
we
understanding.
running out of time. We can call Pritha once again and have more productive discussion on sales and effective, negotiation and all. So our last question to Pritha is, what is your success?
I again lost you. Sorry,
What
you
is
have to repeat the question.
your success?
My success?
A lot of network disturbance.
Issues.
So,
Yeah, I know, I know. I'm able to hear
what
you
is
clear.
hello?
Yeah. Yes, yes, I can hear you now.
Hello, am I audible, Pritha?
Yes, you are now. Yes.
What are the secrets to your success? What are the secrets to your success?
Uh,
Success
my
secrets.
only secret to my success is self-belief. I believe in myself. I believe in my thoughts. I believe in my dreams. I believe in my abilities. If I have left
Amazing.
corporate careers without even, I've left a job, I've resigned from a job without having a job in my hand because I believed in my abilities. uh, I knew that I was in a bad job, and I was in an unhappy workspace, and I knew that I had to leave it for my own mental peace. I had to leave that. But I also believe that I will get another job, and I have always got another job, a better one, something where I could add a lot more value. Even when I decided that I'm going to quit my
Of
corporate
course,
career
of course. You
and I
have
am going
that,
to,
you have the background, your father taught you from the childhood. So that
yes,
confidence is always
yeah,
there.
yeah, I
Really
just believe
there.
in myself, and I think that is my only success vitamin that I can give you. That believe in yourself. Don't listen to what others are saying that you can do, you cannot do, you should not do, you wouldn't do. Don't listen to all that stuff. If you believe you can, you should, you would, and you will be successful. So believe in yourself. That is my success mantra, success vitamin.
Okay, so that is for today. We'll invite our dear Pritha to our other show so that we can have more detailed discussion on sales and negotiation skills. Journey of love and courage from Pritha Dubey, and woman who is also contributing for the women's economic empowerment and upliftment of women community. So thank you so much for being with us, and please do
Thank you.
subscribe our channel, and you can also subscribe our She Business Time, that is the first women business magazine from Northeast India. And see you again. Thank you so much, Pritha, for being here with us and contribute your knowledge and helping all the women entrepreneurs to grow their venture.
Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.